Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about weight loss plateaus. Okay, so this is that point in your weight loss journey where you've been steadily losing weight consistently, you've done really well, and all of a sudden, bang, straight line. Okay, no more weight loss. You're doing exactly the same things, but you're not losing the weight all of a sudden. Okay, so in this video I'm going to go through my top tips on how to avoid the plateau in the first place, why it's happening, and how to break it. Okay, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video to get all the tips to smash through your weight loss plateau. Okay, before we get into it, if you haven't already and you are new, then hit the subscribe button down underneath so you don't miss out on any videos like this one or any workouts as well. If you do enjoy it and you find it helpful, and give it a thumbs up, and if you do have any other comments by the end of the video, put them down below and then I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, so once you've done all that, then we'll dive straight in with the video. Okay, so we're talking weight loss plateaus. Okay, I'm going to start where all the best tip videos do. Tip number one. Okay, so tip number one is you're not varying your training enough. All right. Now what I mean by this is you could be one of those people that go into the gym and you go on the treadmill for half an hour, you go on the bike for half an hour, you do that 3 or 4 times a week, and then you go home. Okay. Now this may have helped you lose weight right at the start of your weight loss journey, okay, because perhaps you've never done any exercise before. All of a sudden you're doing this hour of exercise 3 or 4 times a week, you know, you're doing 3 or 4 hours of solid exercise in there. That's going to put you in a good calorie deficit and you're going to lose weight. So to start with, you will have seen some success with it. However, the longer this goes on, the more and more your body gets used to it, especially like if you're not changing the speed. Okay, your heart rate's up, you're feeling sweaty, but really your body can quite happily do that all day long now at this point. Okay, so that is one of the biggest tips in terms of the exercise, is to vary your training as much as possible. You compared to someone that perhaps even just was to do that, go on the treadmill for half an hour and do some sprints in there on it, then go on the bike and put the resistance right up, and then the next day they come in, perhaps they go to a pump class, the day after that they come in and do some compound resistance training, then the next day they go into a spin class, and their training is so varied that their body is burning calories at an extortionate rate because there's so many different types of exercise that it's doing. Okay, so if that sounds like you, that is the first thing I want you to go and do now, or start thinking about, is right, what different exercises can I do? Okay, if you're not very confident in the gym, I would highly recommend just going to a class first. Okay, if your gym offers classes, they have instructors there which are going to tell you what to do. Okay, everyone's new once. All right, you've all been to a class for the first time once, and once you've done it a couple of times, you'll increase your confidence. Okay, and it's a great way of meeting people as well, which helps with weight loss. If you want to go down the route of more resistance training, then asking one of the instructors in your gym just how you use all the different kit if you're not sure. Okay, and then start incorporating that into your training. The more varied it is, the more likely you are to see results. Tip number 2 is be accurate with tracking your calories. Okay, I've done another video on accuracy of calorie tracking because not many people are. It's not even necessarily your fault that you weren't accurate with it, but it's just being aware that what you're tracking might not be 100% accurate, but be as accurate with it as you possibly can. Okay, if you go over the fridge and have something out the fridge, then put that in. Okay, don't just think, oh, it doesn't really count. You know, if you go and have a biscuit, don't just think, oh no, I won't, but it's one biscuit, it will be fine, it won't make a difference, I won't put it in. You need to be as accurate as possible. Okay, the more accurate you are, the better you can see where your diet's at. You can actually see how many calories you're consuming, how many protein, fruit and veg, that sort of thing. So if you're not accurate, there's pretty much no point in doing it. Okay, so be as accurate as humanly possible when tracking calories. Okay, like I say, if you're not, you're just misleading yourself, and that is going to be a big cause for your weight loss plateau. Yeah, tip number 3. This is a really basic tip which can help a lot of people. It's something that's really simple. It's just to move more. All right, and I'm not talking about when you're in the gym, you know, doing 100 star jumps instead of 50, just day-to-day activities, moving more, all right? So for example, if you go around the house, you're cleaning the house, you know what I mean, you're up, you're on your feet, maybe you go and do some gardening, again, you're out there pulling weeds out and all the rest of it, gardening away, pushing your lawnmower, that sort of thing, going out for a walk, taking the kids out and playing outside with the kids. So, you know, you're not even thinking about it, but you just, you know, you're running around, your heart rate's up, you're burning off extra calories without even realizing it, okay? So this is at the stage where we start talking a bit more about a lifestyle change rather than I'm just going to lose weight. Okay, so by moving more, you're then again going to burn off those more calories, which again is just going to give you that bigger calorie deficit to tap into those fat reserves. Okay, another example is, say you're going shopping. You know, if you're not going for a lot, carry a basket, then you're adding a bit of resistance when you're walking. Park the other end of the car park, so you got to walk down there with your bag of shopping. You know, even just walk to the shop if you can do, rather than taking the car. Really simple things like that. If there's a lift, take the stairs if there's some stairs there. Just anything that you can do to move more in your day-to-day life. Okay, this works perfectly for those of you that are in an office 9 to 5. All right. Obviously, I know you have to sit there and be on your computers and do your work and answer your phones and that sort of thing, but where possible, just think, where can I move? You know, can I walk to the printer a couple of times? You know, can I get one and quickly grab the other? Can I walk up the stairs in my office rather than my lift? When I'm on a lunch break, could I walk somewhere and go and do something? Or, you know, there's so many different things. You just, obviously, workplaces are different, but just start thinking in your head where you can, right, could I move more here, could I move more there? And then that way you're going to burn more calories, give yourself that bigger deficit, and more likely break the plateau. So tip number 4, right, to the final tip. This one is that you need to figure out if you're actually in a plateau at all. Okay, so this is something that people think. They step on the scales and think in the last couple of weeks, this weight, this number on these scales has been going down. All of a sudden, it's staying the same. Occasionally, even it might have gone up a couple of pounds, yeah? And they think they've plateaued, okay? Just because the weight on the scales says the same number doesn't mean that you have actually plateaued. Doesn't mean that you haven't lost body fat percentage, all right? Your body's made up of loads of different things, okay? You could have, from all the training that you've been doing, put on a bit of muscle, okay? And your muscle is going to add to that weight that's on the scales. So when it's on there, it's not necessarily the body fat. It could be that you've put extra muscle on there. Could be that haven't drunk enough water, okay, and you need to start drinking more to use the water going through your body rather than your body storing the water, okay? It's simple things like that. All of a sudden, you start thinking, actually, I might not have plateaued at all. And the best ways to tell if this is happening is to also take measurements and photos, all right? So if you haven't already, get yourself a tape measure and you want to measure like hips, waist, arms, legs, that sort of thing, and see over the time whether your measurements have gone down. If your weight stayed the same, but your measurements have gone down, there's a very high chance, if not, well, it's not 100%, but there is a high chance that you are losing body fat still, okay? So don't take what's on the scales as an absolute godsend. The photos as well are fantastic. There's quite a few photos out there on the internet where you see someone who they've put up a weight, let's say 200 pounds, and then there's another picture of them and they still weigh 200 pounds, but the difference is absolutely night and day with how much body fat percentage is in their body, okay? So photos, again, are another fantastic way of telling whether you're in a plateau or not, all right? So before you change anything, one thing that I highly recommend that you do is obviously get yourself a starting weight now, so weigh yourself now, but also make sure you take those measurements and the photos as well. So just to summarize, the 4 tips in total. With your exercise, you're varying it, okay? You're not just doing your cardio, your resistance, you're doing your HIIT, your classes, your resistance, all the rest of it, yeah? You're doing so many different types of training. With nutrition, accuracy. Yeah, being as accurate as possible, being as accountable as you can, and putting everything into your tracking apps that you put into your body. Yeah, making sure you move more as well, so if that's gardening, playing with the kids, that kind of thing. And then lastly, make sure that you are actually in a plateau in the first place. So make sure you're writing your weights down, you're taking measurements, and also photos of your body. And that's it. Following those steps, you are going to break your weight loss plateau, okay? Don't be disheartened if you're on a plateau now. Follow these steps. I can guarantee you'll get out of it, right? If you do have any other comments about weight loss or weight loss plateaus, put them down underneath. If you did find this video helpful, then give it a thumbs up as well. And if you haven't already, like I said at the start, do subscribe, otherwise you're missing out on videos like this one. Okay, but until next time guys, thank you very much. See you on the next video.